Offensive Azure Recon. In this section, we are going to focus on Azure Penetration Testing, and we will learn how we can start, assessment specifically on Azure platform. As we know, there are three types of cloud: Azure, AWS, GCP, and for all these three, we have a different technique, for enumeration. So in this section, I'm going to focus specifically on Azure area, like how to begin, how to start. So when you talk about reconnaissance, there are two types of recon, as we know. There is first recon we call authenticated recon, and second we call unauthenticated recon, right? You might be know about all this because if you do regular bug bounty or penetration testing, these are all common, as we know. A black box assessment, in that case, we don't have any information about the target. We are collecting all the information with our own knowledge. That is called black box assessment. But when you talk about white box, so in an organization, they are giving you some credential to you in order to start, right? That is called white box. So in our case, so imagine, like we have a target called xyz.com, and this is the live target, and we don't have any information about that live target. So how to perform a recon specifically on this area? So that document I created, and exactly I'm going to share with you like what exactly you need to do when you're handling it. Anyway, I'm going to discuss about AWS as well as Azure and GCP later on, but here we are going to focus specifically on Azure area. So as we know, when you perform a Azure recon, we need to focus on specifically on 4 or 5 things, right? Number one, the main important one is tenant. That is called organization. Under the tenant, we have a subscription, but again, there are many other cases like root management group, child management group, but for you, just remember, only 4 things: tenant, subscription, resource group, and the resource, right? So we need to perform an assessment, and that way we can enumerate all the information. And there are some information which we can enumerate outside. We can from that information, we can directly get into the initial access, and then further on we can move a lateral movement and persistent connection and to do a tons of stuff. But in that case, it's not that easy like what we do for application, right? It is a little bit difficult because here everything is secured by Microsoft Azure. So we need to look at like vulnerability as well as RBAC or ABAC rule and policy. We need to check based on the policy, based on the rule, based on the misconfiguration, only we will be able to exploit it. But there are certain cases, people are using Kubernetes, Docker containers, and many other services they are using because Azure, AWS, GCP, they are very rich in services, right? So that can be exploited, in that way. That if you know all these things, then it's very easy to exploit all these areas, right? But if you have no idea, just follow me, on this particular channel. We will discuss more and more on these particular topics, So in this section, we will be going to dissect what exactly is the enumeration process, how you're going to deal with the Azure platform, and I'm going to see in the practical section. Welcome to Hacker Associate, and you are watching Hacker Associate broadcast. Welcome to the Hacker Show. I'll see you in the practical section.